So if you don't know, manga is basically Japanese graphic novels and comics, but they're published in Japan. I think they are such a good form of literature that everyone should get into, especially if you want to like broaden your horizons and try different things. So in this video I kind of wanted to talk about like what I really like about manga, because in manga you usually have the facial expressions, you have people moving, talking. Compared to a book, you can see stuff all the way at least the author intended you to see it. I think that is such a good way, especially when it comes to fights. Especially with me, when it comes to books, I know some books, even to be fair, some manga itself, they can be quite confusing in how they do the fight, but at least when you're able to see the fight for yourself, you're able to actually understand, okay, this is what's happening, this is where it's happening, this is happening, this is who it's happening to. Mangas could also produce much more depth than anime. I think I've read somewhere that manga is the main source that they want you to read, and the anime is just there for you to go to the manga. I don't know how true that is, but if that's the case, it kind of makes sense to why sometimes animes cut out stuff or not include certain things that the manga does, because they kind of want you to kind of go and pick up the manga instead of sticking to the anime, especially with romance anime, because they would only do like 12 episodes. The manga kind of goes on for longer, so you kind of miss so much more of the story. Mangas could also be better paced. I know, for example, with One Piece, there's 2 arcs, Dressrosa and Wano, and people have said that like it drags, or some parts really drag. With the anime, every scene, so it's like every scene could last like the whole episode. It slows down the story. That is definitely one reason why I switched to the manga when I was watching One Piece, because I kind of got to Wano and I was like waiting weekly for like a 20-minute episode that had one scene from the manga, instead of just like being able to read the manga and see so much more. But yeah, that is one reason why I switched to the manga, because it was better paced. I didn't have to wait a week for such little content. Like I could get more out of the manga than on a weekly basis. So now I want to talk about mangas that I have read. One of the mangas that I read was The Promised Neverland. This is about a group of children who live in an orphanage. They live a sheltered, protected life where they have the same routine. It's very structured. They do one thing at one time, one thing another time. It's kind of like I want to say utopia, because everything's quite like nice. The carer is nice. I think they call her mother. Yeah, she's really nice. Mama, yeah, they call her Mama. She's very nice. She's very helpful to them. She's respectful. She listens to them. She helps them learn. She really cares for them. And so as like they go on about their days, people get adopted, and the children, they congratulate them as they say bye. So one day, one of the kids, they went to go and see, okay, what happens to their friend when they get adopted, and they witness something horrifying, and it's kind of just the story unravels from there. Another part of it is that there's this kind of war that goes around them, and they end up trying to see what's on the other side, basically. I really liked season 1 as I was watching it, so that's why I switched to the manga. Yeah, season 1 was really good. Season 2, it was okay. I think some people were complaining that it wasn't that great. I think certain directions went to that could have been improved, but I don't think it was that bad. I do wish they kind of explored certain concepts more. I think the dynamics are really good. The twists and turns are actually really interesting. I would say it does have found family, which is really nice, and it has really strong friendships and really strong dynamic. The next one is also found family, and it's Spy X Family. I think it's kind of more popular. Like, this is a story about 3 people who form a family, a fake family, each with their own goal. One of them is to kind of infiltrate the country and try and get its secrets to kind of stop a war. The other one is she's an assassin. The third one, she is a telepath. Yeah, she's a telepath. And so it just kind of, the story kind of unfolds from there. It's very funny. Like, it's such a funny show. The characters are so sweet. Like, I love all the characters. As the story goes on, even though they're a fake family, they, of course, in every fan family, they become more caring towards each other. They become more. This manga also it shows the effects of war on children and families. It also deals with espionage. It deals with fake news. Okay, the next one is One Piece. Yeah, this one has a live action adaptation, and it has the manga anime. This is about a boy who forms a pirate crew, and they also sell to find the One Piece. We don't know what the One Piece is, they don't know what the One Piece is. As the story kind of unfolds from there, we deal with wars, we deal with slavery, we deal with the government, false prophets, we deal with racism. It also showcases injustices, and our crew have to are faced with the injustices of the world. It also deals with the collapse of the certain systems there to protect people and also to harm people. So yeah, that's also another reason why you should definitely read that manga or watch the anime or watch the show. I think it's such a good series. It has so much depth. It has so many messages in it that can resonate with like anyone. I sped through that series. It's crazy. But yeah, I really do recommend it. The next one that I read was a romance anime, and that's called Love is War. It basically rivals to Lovers. You have two people who are in the student council, and they kind of have these back and forth trying to get each other to confess their feelings to one another. So yeah, it's very funny, it's very goofy. The anime is goofy, the manga is funny. It's just very kind of wholesome. It's quite sweet. This is one that I read during lockdown, though I actually didn't finish it. So what had happened is I got to a point, I don't want to spoil it, so there's a point where someone leaves, and I just thought that is such a perfect way of ending it, and then it continued, and I was like, oh, we're continuing. But I just feel like the place it ended, or where I finished watching it, was such a good way to end it. Yeah, it was such a good way to end the story. The next one is about a boy called Takemichi. His life isn't how he expected it to be, and he has the opportunity to go back to the past and change something. And the story kind of unravels from there. He ends up kind of saving one person, and then realizes that because of that, there's a butterfly effect, and because he saves one person, someone else gets hurt, and then he kind of keep on going back to kind of save these people. He ends up also in a biker gang, and there's a lot of drama around the biker gangs within the show and within the manga too. I really did enjoy the manga. I really love the storylines. Just to let you know, these are middle schoolers. These are children who are technically, I'm pretty sure, like 12, and they're fighting each other. They're just riding bikes and fighting each other. I'm not caught up. The thing is with this one, it kind of feels repetitive. Even though different things happen every time it goes back and changes something, it's becoming a little bit repetitive. I might finish it. I feel probably will one day, but at this moment in time, I just haven't gotten the chance. Where I stopped, I think that's the last time he goes back, but I don't know if it's still going on. Part where he goes back again, and I get why he's going back, because like a part of his character also is that he's really loyal, and he really wants to do good, and he wants to really help his friends. But another part of him is that he does stuff so, I don't want to say slowly, but you know when characters do stuff so late, and you're like, wow, you really should have done it this years ago. Why are you doing it now? Anyways, he kind of, yeah, which is quite realistic, and it's just one of his fatal. I would say there's so many moments where I was on the edge of my seat, like I was like, oh my gosh. The next one is Attack on Titans. Is about these soldiers that have to go on a mission to protect their village from these titans, and the story kind of unravels from there again. It's very interesting. The characters are great, the dynamics are great, the history, the story behind these titans, it's so like shocking. Honestly, it's so good. I definitely recommend this one. I definitely recommend it. I would say it's very gory. It has a lot of dark scenes and dark moments. So does Tokyo Revengers, to be fair, and One Piece. One Piece definitely has a lot of dark moments. With Attack on Titans, I think with their dark moments, they kind of just present it to you. They don't dress it up. They don't really dress it up like, this is what's happening. Like, this is what's happening. The anime censors certain things. So, for example, if in a fight scene someone's head gets cut off, the manga will show that. They'll show the head getting cut off, and they'll show the headless body. The anime won't. They will cover it up, maybe with like the wall or with someone's body. I would say with this, it has found family again. So does Tokyo Revengers. I think all of these generally have found family. But yeah, it also has I would say an unknowing anti-hero. But you also have like the hero, and he has all of these responsibilities, and then he's kind of faced with something bigger than him. And so it's kind of also that unraveling. I think this is such a good anime and a good manga. I know the ending people were kind of unsatisfied with it, and to be fair, I do think the message at the end could have been challenged a bit, or at least it did make me cry. I'm not gonna lie, it did make me cry. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please let me know if you have read any of these